Good evening, welcome to News on 2. I'm Jessica Lee. Newly appointed Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC Chief Commissioner Latifah Koya says that while everyone is entitled to their opinion, her job is clear: to eradicate corruption in the country. She also said with the support of the Rakyat and her officers in the MACC, she believes they can transform Malaysia into a corruption-adverse and corruption-free society. In her first official statement as MACC chief, Latifah said she would be looking into long-term measures, including education, to create a culture of intolerance to corruption. She also said it is the fundamental right of every Malaysian to live, work and prosper in a corruption-free society. Latifah's appointment came as a surprise to many as she replaced Datuk Sri Shukri Abdul, who quit before his tenure was to have ended in 2020. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said it was his personal decision to appoint Latifah to the post and that he did not consult the cabinet on the matter. However, the Premier added that he had listened to many people before making his decision. The Prime Minister added that he would be tied if the cabinet were to decide. Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Muhammad Hanifah Maidin, says those who question Tun Dr. Mahathir's appointment of the new Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Chief should realise that the post of Prime Minister comes with certain privileges. Muhammad Hanifah said Tun Dr. Mahathir is aware that he is leading a new Malaysia under the Pakatan Harapan government, and he believes that the Prime Minister would not abuse the privileges accorded to him. Muhammad Hanifah said the PH government had shown that it could act responsibly in many cases, including on appointments to the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee, PAC. Therefore, he believed that the Premier, his cabinet and the PH top leadership could resolve the controversy over the appointment of Latifah as the MACC Chief Commissioner in a wise and proper way. He also said bodies like the Bar Council and Bersih 2.0 had issued statements critical of Latifah's appointment, and he could see some strong merit in their arguments. Muhammad Hanifah added that as an administration sensitive to the soul and principle of democracy and sovereignty of the law, the government under Tun Dr. Mahathir would not view such voices lightly. The Deputy Minister further noted that this new government would also take the pledges in its election manifesto seriously. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the controversy arising over the appointment of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC chief is just politics. The Home Minister said Latifah Koya's appointment is correct from both the constitutional and executive standpoint, as the Constitution states that the Prime Minister is to advise the Yang di-Pertuan Agong on the candidate for the job. Maintaining that the appointment was indeed in line with the law and the federal constitution, Tan Sri Muhyiddin nevertheless expressed the view that some prior discussion should have been held.
Pasal dia prosedurnya semua betul. Dari segi perlembagaan, dari segi kuasa eksekutif, itu semua betul. Cuma yang terbangkit sekarang ini soal politik. Yang orang persoalkan adalah soal politik. Politik pula ikut tafsiran masing-masing. Jadi bagi saya tak apa, ini satu pengalaman baik untuk ke hadapan. Kalau ada lain nantikan mungkin saya yakin Perdana Menteri akan bincang dengan pimpinan tertinggi Pakatan Harapan supaya mereka dua faham dan tahu. Sebagai langkah akhir itu keputusan adalah Perdana Menteri untuk menasihatkan Agong. Itu proses dalam perlembagaan. Saya tak fikir sesiapa boleh pertikaikan soal itu.
Tan Sri Muhyiddin, who is also Bersatu President and Pago Member of Parliament, said this when asked about the issue during a press conference at his Hari Raya open house in Pago today. Elaborating further, he opined that future appointments ought to be in line with Pakatan Harapan's election manifesto that specifically promised an end to political appointees and to put major appointments through a parliamentary special select committee. Latifah's appointment for a 2-year term effective 1st of June was announced 3 days ago after it had received the consent of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. In another development, Tan Sri Muhyiddin advised all road users to exercise extra caution and always take heed of the speed limit prescribed on signboards during this festive season. Now, he was commenting on the number of road accidents recorded so far in the Op Selamat 15, which has exceeded more than 13,000 cases.
Jadi tak berbaloi kita nak memecut kenderaan kita dengan laju. Setakat sekarang ini pun hampir 140 lebih bilangan yang telah maut. Dan ini satu yang kita pandang serius.
The minister further noted that besides the Op Selamat campaign, other initiatives will be taken to reduce road accidents and fatalities. Now, Johor has recorded 19 deaths due to road accidents in the 8th day of the Op Selamat 15 conducted by police in conjunction with the Aidilfitri festive season. Johor Police Chief Dato' Muhammad Halil Kadir said the death toll involved 14 motorcycle accidents, 3 cars and 1 pedestrian. Commenting further, Dato' Khalil said federal roads recorded 6 fatalities, followed by 5 cases on highways, municipal roads 4, state roads 2, and other roads 1. As a whole, the Op Selamat 15 has recorded 2,041 accidents in Johor, an increase of 154 cases during the Raya period last year, compared to 1,887 cases recorded for Op Selamat 13 for the same period. From the total, 5 districts records the highest accident rates, namely Johor Bahru Selatan 454 cases, Johor Bahru Utara 290, Batu Pahat 232, Sri Alam 200 and Iskandar Puteri 190 cases. In addition, Dato' Halil said municipal roads also recorded the highest accident rate of 819 cases, followed by federal roads 448, state roads 347, highways 185 and other roads 170. The Johor Police Chief added among the main cause of road accidents in the country were the driver's loss of vehicle control following too close, veering into the opposite lane or carelessness. From the statistics, it can be concluded that the increase of vehicles on the roads, besides a lack of prudence and skills of drivers in handling cars, are also reasons why accidents increase, while weather condition is also a contributing factor. A motorcycle convoy after the Aidilfitri celebrations turned into a tragedy when 2 riders were killed after their machines grazed each other, causing them to fall in the path of an oncoming car along the Jengka 23 main road, Maran, Pahang. Maran Police Chief DSP Nur Zamri Abdul Rahman said the 10:15 p.m. incident claimed the lives of Hamdan Mat, 47, and Muhammad Sharizan Ahmad, 37. He also said that Abu Bakar Ahmad, 26, another rider in the convoy heading from Jengka 22 to Jengka 23, broke his right hand. DSP Nur Zamri further noted that the accident happened at a sharp bend and the driver of the oncoming Proton Wajah could not evade them in time. The Proton Wajah also hit a Honda Civic car that was trailing the convoy. The Maran Police Chief, however, noted that both the car drivers, aged 54 and 32, escaped unhurt. A decomposed body was found stuck between rocks behind a shipyard in Ranca in Labuan late yesterday evening. Labuan Deputy Police Chief Muhammad Ibrahim Muhammad Ghani said the corpse, whose identity cannot be determined, was believed to be floating at sea for 3 to 4 weeks. Muhammad Ibrahim said no apparel or identity was found, and so far police could not find any clear evidence of any criminal element in the case. He added that initial examination of the corpse showed no signs of physical injuries. He also said that more clues would be obtained after the post-mortem at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Kota Kinabalu. Muhammad Ibrahim urged anyone with information on the case to contact the nearest police station. The raw water treatment process in Sungai Langat Water Treatment Plant in Selangor, which was affected following a mechanical filtering equipment or band screen issue yesterday, has resumed operations and treated water distribution to the distribution reservoir is back to normal. In a statement today, Syarikat Bekalan Air Selangor Sdn Bhd or Syabas said it was now in the process of stabilizing pressure and flow in the distribution system to expedite supply restoration. Pengurusan Air Selangor Sdn Bhd's Customer Relationship and Communications Department Head Abdul Rauf Ahmad in a statement released said the affected areas in Kuala Lumpur have achieved a 89% restoration rate, with 3 areas, namely Pandan Prima, part of Taman Yutan, and Taman Tenaga having been fully restored. Petaling and Hulu Langat recorded a 100% and 65% restoration rate respectively. He further noted that to reduce the impact of interruption, assistance via water tankers will be continuously mobilized. Malaysia's export value has increased by 1.1% to 85.2 billion ringgit in the month of April, compared to 84.2 billion ringgit in the same period last year. The increase was driven by demand for locally made electrical and electronic goods, petroleum products, chemicals and liquefied natural gas during trade war between United States and China. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng in a statement said the country's total trade also increased by 26.6% to 159.5 billion ringgit this year, compared to 155.5 billion ringgit in April last year. The total import value, meanwhile, increased by 4.4% year-on-year in the same period. Lim said that the value of exports and imports have outperformed Bloomberg's predicted market expectations, which earlier projected a decline of 2.1% and 0.3% respectively. In addition, imports of goods and intermediate goods also increased to 18.9% and 20.3% in April this year. While Malaysia is benefiting from the trade war between the world's 2 largest economies, it, however, has to end immediately to enable the world economy to grow sustainably. A total of 44,832 units of imitation goods with an estimated worth of over 1.6 million ringgit was seized between January and May by the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry, KPDNHEP, Kuala Lumpur Enforcement Branch. Its Chief Enforcement Officer Azim Nazuri said the branch handled 47 cases, through which the imitation items were seized. Elaborating further, Azim said KPDNHEP Kuala Lumpur would not have achieved success with such a high value of seized items if it did not have the cooperation from the trademark owners who provided information and shared intelligence. He also said among the imitation goods seized were bags, shoes and international designer shirts. For the year 2018, the most sought-after goods were imitation accessories of luxury brands such as watches, with seized items worth more than 250,000 ringgit. For this year, counterfeit leather bags with a total value of 529,600 ringgit were the most expensive items that were seized. The Kuala Lumpur KPDNHEP chief further noted the modus operandi of the traders selling the imitation goods was either wholesale or through their respective retail outlets. It is also believed that all these imitation goods were obtained overseas. All cases involving the imitation goods are being investigated under Section 8 of the Trade Descriptions Act 2011. Malaysia's football head coach Tan Cheng Ho has asked his charges to be prepared to change their gameplay and adjust to the conditions of the pitch at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium when they play Timor-Leste later tonight. Now, with frequent heavy rain the past few days having worsened the pitch condition, the 51-year-old coach asked the Harimau Malaya players to be flexible in their strategies to secure a win in the first round of the 2022 World Cup 2023 Asian Cup joint qualification first leg match. Despite Malaysia being the favourites, the former Kedah tactician warned his charges to be wary of their opponents tonight, which has a mixture of experienced and young players from the under-23 squad to the 2018 Asian Games and AFF Championship, besides a dangerous strike force.
for the past 4 weeks, the team have been good preparation. Then I seen players also very committed in training, and of course, on the 2nd of June we have a very good test match against Nepal, and we have to continue to play the way we are playing. And at the same time, we cannot overconfident playing against Timor-Leste.
Ching Ho spoke in a pre-match press conference at the National Stadium in Bukit Jalil yesterday. Timor-Leste head coach Norio Sukitate, meanwhile, has applauded the Malaysian team ahead of their 2022 World Cup, 2023 Asian Cup joint qualification first leg match tonight. The 59-year-old Japanese coach came with full of praises for the Harimau Malaya squad during the pre-match press conference.
That's why we start training before 1 week. Tomorrow game not so easy, but do our best, and maybe players do something tomorrow.
We will try.
Please do your best.
For the record, Timor-Leste have never won against Malaysia, having lost 0-1, 0-3 twice and tied 1-1 during their 4 clashes in the previous World Cup and Asian Cup qualifiers. And that's it from us this evening. In our top story, Latifa's appointment follows procedure. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for joining us.